I'm gonna start anew, gonna turn this thing around when I get to town. I'm gonna buy a brand new hat, I'm gonna buy some brand new shoes, walk off these country blues. I'm gonna find a pretty girl, I'm gonna buy her a pretty gown when I get to town. I'm gonna find some new work where I wear a clean white shirt, 'cause I've been working in the dirt. Well, good evening, folks. My name's Cody from a small town, Central Illinois. I dream come big folk singer. Moved to the big city of Chicago. People started calling me the Chicago farmer. I write songs about small towns, big cities, and everywhere in between. This little song here about my hometown. You want to hear it? Do you want to hear it? Here it goes. Let me tell you about a little town here in this world. It's got one police officer cop, yeah, for every boy and girl. But they better serve you during the day and overprotected at night. We got 26 cops in Delavan, Illinois, population 25. Got one for John, the factory worker, and one for my cousin Lou. They got one for my mom, a school teacher. For my dad, they got two. They got one for the town psychologist who sits and wonders why. We got 26 cops in Delavan, Illinois, population 25. We've been walking down a poverty line and the streets all gone to hell. The library could fall at any time, the hardware store already fell. Well, I wonder where all my money goes, why the tax is so damn high. We got 26 cops in Delavan, Illinois, population 25. Some things are gonna have to change till we all sing this song. This town can't hold the both of us, one must be moving on. We know I love you with all my heart, but I can't take any more. There's 26 cops in Delavan, Illinois, population 24. So that's my hometown, Delavan, we're approaching here. Population 1900. That's where I grew up. Where my whole family grew up, really. Just coming up here on the left is my old high school. We were the Purple Panthers, hence the purple. And that's it. This whole building houses kindergarten through senior high school. That's the high school there. My mom was a teacher, so whenever I get in trouble, she was the first one to know. Some kids could get away with things, but when your mom's a teacher, you can't get away with very much. So this is called Four Corners, downtown Delavan. It's where I spent most of my time in high school. Basically, there wasn't much to do, so we'd come sit on these four benches. Usually choose a different one every night. One cool thing about our high school is everybody kind of hung out with everybody, so I'd come sit on this bench and wait for somebody to come pick me up and take me for a ride out in the country. And we go for a country cruise for about an hour.
Then we'd come back and I'd get dropped off, and 20 minutes later somebody else would come pick me up, take me out on another country road, and then we just kind of did that the whole night. So it seemed kind of boring at the time, just riding around in cars, but really it was one of the highlights of my youth, just hanging out with different people and taking off, leaving town to drive out in the country, and spent a lot of time here just on this bench. And really today I see a lot of teenagers still hanging out on these benches, and they're probably doing the same thing. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty enjoyable to be back here. I did a lot of time daydreaming over here. So it seemed like I'd always sit here and dream about leaving this place, but now that I'm back here, it feels cool to be back. When I look back on it, it was really some of the best times of my life. So.
I'm headed to the job. I got a hangover headache from singing all night long. I'm bleeding, oh please get me through. Ooh, you spend another morning with Assembly Line Blues. My 15-minute break, it goes by in a wink. 15 minutes of work lasts for days, I didn't think. Another day, another dollar, paying my dues. You spend another night with Assembly Line Blues. Yep. They say, by the way, you're gonna work Sunday too. Ooh, you spend another week with Assembly Line Blues. I'm sighing, been dying, been panting for a rest, while the boss man is smiling, got his feet on his desk. I wish for one day he'd walk in my boots. He wouldn't last an hour with Assembly Line Blues. Nope. Now the clock is striking 7 and I don't have a care. I got my hand on my time card, my finger in the air. Tonight I'll be singing at local saloon. Ooh, forget about my life with Assembly Line Blues. Assembly Line Blues. Assembly Line Blues. Thank you. Thank you, folks. Got some friends in the house all the way from Bloomington, Illinois tonight. Get to you later. Got all kinds of songs about peaking. Let the Bloomington people have their fun. They can shine too. This is a song about an ex-girlfriend of mine. She stole my notebook, moved out to California, became a real famous writer. You sit on the roof and talk for hours. Used to dance naked in the summer showers, talking about the good times, been talking of dreams. Used to call her a princess, but now we call her queen. Used to go to parties with no makeup on. She's never silent, she'd scream out a song. Not a bone in her body, that was me. Used to call her princess, but now we call her queen. We used to make out and roll in the snow. When the summer heat turned to winter cold, her legs would shiver, I'd give her my favorite jeans. Used to call her princess, but now we call her queen. And now she's feasting in her mansion by the lake. She don't mention me much since she got a break. Her maid does the dusting with my jeans. Used to call her princess, but now we call her queen. She's having a good meal, yeah, out on the lake. She don't mention the band since she got a break. Her maid does the dusting with my jeans. Used to call her princess, but now we call her queen. There ain't much water in this godforsaken town, but that don't mean that some folks like us can't drown. It's another drunken night in a bar in Bloomington. Lonely, but I'm not the only one. You know, somebody asked me a question one time. I don't remember if it's Paul or John. He wanted to know about the lonely people. He said, where do they all come from? He said, I don't know where they come from, man, but I sure as hell know where they meet. It's a little place called Bloomington down in the corner of Prairie and Mulberry Street. And they show up their green sacks and their 12 packs and their instruments of mass and minor destruction. And they get together and they have a little fun. If there's any more on a Saturday night, that's what friends are for. You say you're lonely, but you're not the only one. Now I'm on the get up, I'm gonna get alive, gonna get myself up on old 55, cause I've been drinking, I got dilated eyes. It's been too many moons since I've seen the sunrise. Time to move, it's time to move. Get going. What lies ahead, I got no way of knowing. But under my feet, babe, the grass is growing. Yeah, it's time to move on. It's time to get going. 'Cause there ain't much water in this godforsaken town, but that don't mean that some folks like us can't drown. It's another drunken night in a bar in Bloomington, or Delavan, or Pekin, or anywhere. Lonely, but you're not the only There's dirt on the ground. I love to drive, 'cause it's closer to home and it's closer to life. And there's girls, trees, and flowers and skies in my sights. There's dirt on the ground and I love to drive.
So this is my new upgrade, 2007 Mercury Grand Marquis. It's quite a machine. I traded in my 97, upgraded 10 years. The light always says oil change required, but all you have to do is push these buttons and it doesn't say that anymore. It's pretty nifty. 50,000 miles. I think I bought it 3 months ago and it had 40,000 when I bought it, so 10,000 in 3 months, that's about usual, I guess, for me. But all these people around here are pretty much farmers, and that's kind of the way it is around here. A lot of these farms have been handed down from generation to generation, and it's just good, hard-working people around here. It gets tougher and tougher to be a farmer these days, though. There's about 100 different ways to drive to Delavan, but every time I go, I usually go a different way. Then I come home a different way too, just for little scenic routes. Never really gets old to me though. I like driving out here. This is where I write most of my songs. Usually when I get an idea, I just get in the car and I just take off and start driving. And then let the things come to me. I usually don't write when I drive. It could be a little dangerous, but just think of it in my head, and then when I get home, if I don't remember it, then it probably wasn't any good, and if I remember it, then I write it down when I get home. But I spent a lot of time working when I was driving. I would deliver flowers, I delivered all kinds of stuff, delivered pizzas when I lived in Colorado, and I just had a Simon and Garfunkel tape in my car, in my cassette player, and it got stuck. So all I heard for like 2 years was Simon and Garfunkel. And so I'd either listen to that or I'd just turn it off. And when I turned it off, I just started coming up with ideas and writing songs while I drove. And if I got an idea and I had a lot of deliveries to make in a row, I'd just write it down on a napkin or write it down on a pizza box or something like that, just to or try to remember it. Sometimes the city would just get so hectic though, living in Chicago, and I'd just come back here and get on one of these roads and I just automatically kind of relax and just feel at home, feel at ease. And I don't know, some people it's probably boring to them, but for me it's just kind of therapeutic to just be in a car and think of my thoughts and drive. So we're here in Minooka, Illinois today, doing something a little different, playing a party. Pretty excited about it. It's good to be out of the bar. We did a theater last night, and this is something I don't get to do very often, but I'm really looking forward to it. Met these folks in Joliet, and they asked me to come play their party, so it's good to have a unique gig. So I'm playing in the garage for a bunch of good folks that I met, and it's really cool because usually I meet people and then I move on and I say hi and I say goodbye, say thanks for coming, and then I never see them again. So we're gonna try this and looking forward to it.
Well, I was walking down Paris Street. It was a lunch hour, we were to meet. I got there early to bring her joy. I started hurting when I saw her flirting with the bleach blonde surfer boy. He had big muscles, he had a tan. going crazy for making noise. This isn't Florida, it's not California, it's Illinois. Ran off together, they went up north to Chicago so he could serve. They left me here all alone again. She said she loved him 'cause he could hang 10 Lake Michigan. But shorts and sandals were his only clothes. So in November he up and froze. His dark tan turned so pale and old. She couldn't accept him, and so she left him out in the cold. Well, me just being the guy I am, I went and found him, lent him a hand, taught him what Illinois is all about. Got him a whiskey, took him out to Dixie's, and I thought him out. We started drinking, we talked all day about how he let her go get away. Away with murder, away with sin. We kept on drinking, we started thinking, plotted revenge. She was a school teacher over in Havana, but on the weekends worked the Cabana. And now our students, they can't forget. So we put a mixture of her naked pictures on the internet. Now he's my best friend, Marty and Tom. He's got 7 piercings and a mohawk. We make fun of bleach, like surfer boys. This isn't Florida, it's not California, it's Illinois. Yes, he's my best friend, Party and Talk. He's got 7 piercings and a mohawk. Got nothing against bleach, blonde surfer boys. This isn't Florida, it's not California. What is it, people? It's Illinois. Everybody! La-da-da-da, la-da-da-da, la-da-da-da-da, la-da-da-da, la-da-da-da-da, la-da-da-da, la-da-da-da, All right, thank you. Y'all sound like a band of angels tonight. Thank you very much. Come on over. Come on over. What's worse than being with you is being alone. Come on over. Come on over. What's worse than being with you is being alone. Well, you come over, you go through my drawers. Come on over. When that's gone, you say that you want more. Come on.
Yeah, we just finished the Manuka show, and it was fantastic. It was great to be out here today playing for some good folks, and it was really refreshing to be out of the bar on this beautiful farm with some good people, playing some songs for them. And it kind of reminded me why I started playing music in the first place, was just play music for good folks and have a good time. And I think that's what we did here today, and I'm glad we did it. Love doing this kind of stuff.
What's worse than being with you is being alone. Come on over. Come on over. What's worse than being with you is being alone. I wish I had a penny for all your crazy thoughts. Come on over. I go to Joliet and blow it all on the slots. come on over. And I go to Chicago Street and buy everyone a shot. Come on over. 'Cause y'all the best damn friends that I've got. So come on over. We're feeling people. Come on over. Come on over. What's worse than being with you is being alone. Come on over. Come on over. What's worse than being with you is being alone. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening and singing, everybody.
Well, I grew up in a small house. Yeah, I grew up in the fields. I grew up in the country, in the back hills, where you turn 10, you learn how to strive. When you turn 11, you learn how to drive. Well, Mama, I'm riding those big wheels now. Mama, I'm riding those big wheels now. Yeah, Mama, I'm riding those big wheels now. Had to ride out of that small house somehow. So I moved down south, down to Tennessee. Every boy plays football, every boy but me. Never a dog pile, I was underneath. I found a couple friends, I lost a couple teeth. So Mama, I'm running those big boys now. Mama, I'm running those big boys now. Yeah, Mama, I'm running those big boys now. Had to run out of that small house somehow. So I learned how to play this strung up box. I learned how to sing 'cause didn't like the way I talked. Put it all together, started writing songs. To the country like a feather, people started singing along. So Mama, I'm sitting in the big time now. Mama, I'm sitting in the big time now. Yeah, Mama, I'm sitting in the big time now. I had to sit out that small house somehow. Now all this driving, drive a man insane. Off of his rocker and on cocaine. Well, I miss the family, I miss the fields, I miss a small town, I miss the way it feels. 'Cause Mama, I'm sitting in a big house now. Yeah, Mama, I'm sitting in a big house now. Yeah, Mama, I'm sitting in a big house now. Gotta get back to that small house somehow. Yeah, Mama, I'm sitting in a big house now. Mama, I'm sitting in a big house now. Well, Mama, I'm sitting in a big house now. Gotta get back to that small house somehow. Won't you take me home?
how'd you come up with the name Chicago Farmer? It seems fairly obvious, but for people who still have the questions.
Basically, I was over at a friend's house. I was getting ready to move to Chicago, and I was pretty excited about it. You know, I was running around saying, I'm getting out of here, I'm going to Chicago, this is going to be awesome, I can't wait to get there. And somebody said that I was kind of like the urban cowboy. I would become the urban cowboy when I moved to Chicago. I said, urban cowboy, that's pretty cool, but it's already been done. But how about Chicago farmer? And then everybody just kind of stepped back, and I kind of stepped back, and it's kind of like, yeah, that's kind of got a good ring to it, Chicago farmer. So it felt good, and that's just kind of the way it became. And I'm from a small town, but people in Illinois don't really have accents outside of Chicago. But people always ask me, they're like, are you a little Southern? Are you a little this or a little that? Did you spend some time in the Carolinas? And I say, no, not really. I don't know if I have a small town twang to me or what, but I've always been called kind of a country boy and had kind of a Southern accent. I don't know where it came from. I did live in Tennessee for 3 years, but so I think it's just, I'm kind of mesmerized with the country and the city of Chicago and how they're so close together, yet they're so different.
Yeah.
And so I just love both of them. I love both of them. I love experiencing both of them. The funny thing is, when I'm in Chicago, I'm always thinking about my roots in Central Illinois. But whenever I'm in Central Illinois, around my roots, I can't help but think about Chicago.
Right.
And I want to be back there and be in the hustle and bustle. And then when I get to the hustle and bustle, I'm like, this is enough hustle and bustle. I'm ready to be back down to the country roads and back on the dirt roads and the gravel roads with my friends, hanging out on the river and playing music around a campfire. So, but it's the best of both worlds, and I love living in Illinois because I can be in both worlds whenever I want.
Right on. Yeah, I think that's the way it is for a lot of people. When wherever you are, you think you got to be somewhere else, but then when you get to that other place, you kind of look back and think, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah. And I love the culture of Chicago. It's amazing. And I love just the down-homeness of Central Illinois. I mean, we're sitting here in a bar, in a working man's bar, just having a drink in Central Illinois, and I know that, you know, people here are just down-home people, but when you're in Chicago, it's just the same way, really. It's not that much different. Everybody has a story. Everybody puts in a long day.
Right.
And, you know, it's I think that's what my music is a lot about, is it's about hard-working people. When I was younger, my generation got labeled kind of the slacker generation, but I don't know anybody who doesn't work hard who's my age. Everybody I know puts in 12-hour days, works 50, 60 hours a week, and so, you know, the slackers are the people who don't come to my shows. The people who come to my shows are the people that put in 12-hour days, and it'll be a Tuesday night, and they'll put in a 12-hour day, and they'll come see me play, and they'll go home, and they'll wake up, and they'll work another 12-hour day, and then they'll come see me again the next night. And that's really what keeps me going, too, and keeps me playing here in Central Illinois, is for those kind of folks.
Take the names of the world, you can put them in a hat, shake them up, see where you land at. And what will you go by? Who will you be? We call them like you see them, we see them to believe. If you want to know why, I sat down just to know you. If you want to know why, I sat down just to know you. Take all of the cities you can, set them in a hat, shake them 'em up and see where you land at, and find you some space you can make it your own. Find you a place and call it your home. If you want to know why I came to town, I came to town just to know you. If you want to know why I came to town, I came to town just to know you. Take all the occupations you can, set them in a hat, shake them up and see where you land at. Well, an Illinois farmer, if you know how to grow it, or maybe a teacher, or maybe a poet. If you want to know why I write things down, I write things down just to know you. If you want to know why I make sounds, I make these sounds just to know you. Take all of our tomorrows you can, set them in a hat, shake them up, see where we land at. But before we all leave, before we walk out the door, I'd like to get to know you just a little bit more. If you want to know why I sat down, I sat down just to know you. If you want to know why I sat down, I sat down just to know you.
At least during the summer anyway, you've been doing like a Tuesday night show at one place almost every week, a Wednesday night show. What's that like? I mean, is it the same people every week, or is it a mix, or?
Yeah, I mean, some people call it a residency. I call it like a weekly gig, and another way for me to get by. But you know, I play shows sometimes where I'll play a weekend where I'll come home with $400. I'll play a show one weekend where I'll come home with $40. So it's hard to pay the rent, and I've worked every job that I could possibly work, from construction to delivering phone books to delivering flowers to delivering pizzas to anything you could possibly imagine. I've had so many jobs over the years, but it's nice to just go somewhere, have a regular gig on a Tuesday night, walk in there, play, and it takes a lot of the strain off, so it's good. And a lot of it is the same folks, and then, you know, they tell their friends about it, and before you know it, a couple weeks go by, and it's packed there, you know, every Tuesday night, which is cool to pack a place on a Tuesday night. But I think it goes back to what I'm doing is a little bit different. Even though I'm just a guy with a guitar, I do something different, and people come out to see it. And you know, around the small towns, it's kind of like you kind of have to drive to Bloomington or Peoria, or you have to drive to the big city to really get entertainment. So what I do is I go to you, you know. I go to the people. Instead of the people coming to me, I go to the people, because someone in Mackinac, Illinois, or Green Valley, Illinois, you know, you have to hop in the car, you have to spend $40-50 on beer and a ticket to see a concert and drive 40 minutes, and it's crazy. So, you know, times are tough for folks. So instead of them hopping in the car and spending all their money and traveling 45 minutes to see a show, I go to them. and I like doing that. It's cool.
It's finding the audience. I mean,
Yeah, I like to find the people who appreciate it, and my music, I don't like anybody to be left out. My music's kind of for everybody, so if you live in a small town of 800 people and you can't afford to, you know, get 4 of your friends together and drive 45 minutes in a snowstorm and spend $200 on beer and alcohol, well, my wife and I, and sometimes our dog, will just hop in our car and come to you and come to your small town and play music for you. So I like to do that. It's cool for me.
As a Central Illinois, oh, the hottest girl that I ever saw, the sweet little number who woke up my slumber, a girl from Mackinac. She's standing there on the hillside, with eyes staring up at her world. She loves Pantera with too much mascara. I've got a Mackinac girl. Sinking down in the river, she's on the old road swing. Well, we're having fun cause her brow isn't done, and now she's starting to sing. Just as I feel as if I'm sinking, she pulls me back up to the world. She's singing Zeppelin, I'm drinking her medicine. I got a Mackinac girl, yeah.
So these are the new windmills just outside of Delavan, Illinois. I think they help power all our friends in Chicago. But it's pretty cool to have these things out here now. It kind of makes the scenery a little bit more unique. When you look at it sometimes at night, it's kind of artistic the way they flap around. It was cool for the community though, because a lot of these things put people to work. Time's been pretty tough, so people need all they can get. And all these construction workers came to town and filled up all the bars and all the restaurants, and things were booming again, so it was pretty cool. I think all the old timers didn't care for it at first, but once it was done, I think they were pretty happy with it. I think they think it's pretty cool too. They asked me to play the ceremony for the windmill farm once it was done. So I went out there to their grand opening and their big ceremony and got to play while they turned them all on, and on the official start of it. It was pretty cool. It's kind of like a little bit of the new blending in with the old countryside. I like it. It's about time we start figuring out different ways to do things, coming up with new ideas.
If anybody read the local paper, they let you in on that I wrote most of these songs in study hall. I actually wrote this song in history class. Came across someone named Rosa Parks who really inspired me. And don't really have a bus line in Delavan. We have school buses that go to the rural route areas that I used to ride, but that's not really like a city bus. But we do have a local swimming pool. And I was just sitting there in class thinking about how ridiculous it is that certain people ride certain buses and certain people go to certain swimming pools, and thought it was pretty stupid. So I wrote this song inspired by Rosa Parks. It was a stormy night in the middle of a dream. Victoria Walker, the foot of the stream. An outside girl amongst an inside crowd. Victoria on the inside, it was not allowed. She was a country girl with her skin dark as the night, sitting in the water, cutting the moonlight. To just get her feet wet would be a sin. 'Cause these are private waters where black girls couldn't swim. And Governor Edwin Perry was standing at the lake. His feet were in the water, cutting the red tape. A man of action and not a man of talk. On a family of Walker girls, the governor did stalk. Victoria told her daddy, oh, I wanna give. Said, baby, don't go down there if you want to live. Said, what kind of life would I lead if I followed in something that I don't believe? The governor gave a goodbye, waving to his guests. Yeah, he had all their money, so he had their respect. And he went to the lake to destroy the truth. When he got to the foot, he said, this spot ought to do. The governor was drunk and his foot slipped on the dock. His back hit the water, his head on a rock. There's nothing but silence in these country hills. Yeah, Governor Perry lay there, his body oh so still. And a couple hours later, the governor did wake. Says somebody saved my life today at the lake. He said, who is this brave young man to I'm in debt? There stood Victoria Walker, her clothes were soaking wet.
So when did you move to Chicago? What year?
I moved there in about 2003. I had these guys I was living with played in a band called the Herbert Weiser Band. Kind of a rock and roll, jam rock band. They were really good. And they moved to Chicago up into a loft by the Double Door, right next to it actually. And they moved up there, and about a month or 2 months later, I ended up moving up there with them. I just figured it was time to try to get off these roads and try a new one. So I love playing out here, and I love playing for these people, and I always call it home, but it's time to try something new for a while. So moved to Chicago because that's where it was happening, and figured LA or New York was kind of an extreme, and Chicago was only 2 hours away, so I'd be close to the family, but I could still get exposed to some culture and some music and some art and some craziness. So that's pretty much why I decided to move.
What was the adjustment process like, coming from a tiny town to big city?
It wasn't too bad because like in 2002, 2003, seemed like in Wicker Park, Chicago was kind of like booming with the whole alt country scene. So I remember I parked my car for the first time and got out, and there were like people in cowboy boots and flannel shirts and trucker hats, and I was like, this is kind of crazy. This is like what people look like at home. So obviously the hustle and bustle was crazy, and living next to the Blue Line train was a little crazy, but it wasn't as crazy as I thought. A lot of people said I would probably get shot at and things like that, but that never happened too often.
And how long was it before you became, took over the moniker Chicago Farmer and broke out on your own to where you weren't playing with another band?
Yeah, originally the thought of Chicago Farmer was to be for a band, but that was kind of always the goal, was I was going to have a band, I was going to call it Chicago Farmer, and then after I lived with 6 other musicians for a while, I kind of just enjoyed being by myself, driving these roads, but doing my own thing. But it's really not a solo act. My wife is a big part of it. She's usually sitting right by my side when we make these road trips and stuff like that, and the family is really involved. So really, it's just one guy playing the music, but it's really a whole family project, and it's kind of like, that's what it kind of is. It's like a big art project. My sister does all my artwork. My brother-in-law does all my CDs and takes all my pictures. My wife does all my computer work. My mom spreads the word. And when my dad was living, he was a big part of it too. He did like everything. He was like my #1 supporter. So the band never happened, but it's still a group project. So it seems like everybody involved is a part of the whole Chicago Farmer thing, and so all that support is really what keeps it alive.
On your albums, you do have some supporting players and stuff. Is that something that you would like to do someday if you had the means and the right people?
Yeah, I think so. I'd like to do it. People always say you have to evolve, and it seems like every solo artist eventually has a band or whatever, because that's just what they do. But I think I'm still evolving just by myself. You know, I try different things all the time. I try to keep it fresh. I try to keep new ideas popping out. But as far as that goes, a lot of my recordings in Nashville were kind of with session players, and they were amazing, talented people. But these days, it's just, to me, it's more about just playing music with my friends. I'm not really a crazy picker, but for me, it's just getting together and singing songs like campfire style is like my favorite thing to do. So if I do start a band, I think I'll just put together a few friends, and it might not be the tightest band in the world or the best band in the world or the most talented, but we'll know each other and have a good time. To me, that's what's kind of all about, just getting back to having fun. That's why I've started doing this in the first place. Not making it a business, just making it a creation.
On a train from LA, conversations in the smoking car. Delaney looks up from her makeup, says nothing ever seems to be on time. She's suffering a breakup, she's trying to keep it off her mind. This trembling man says he's worried, 'cause his relationship's in doubt. It's all fun and games till someone gets a heart tore out. Right away, they gotta right away. 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 No man feels telling stories, says he knows this war like a veteran. With a basket of glory, well, he's on his way to see a fallen friend. Right away, he's got to right away. 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 And the young couple, they were laughing, 'cause they're on their way to the reunion. Sitting back and relaxing, taking time away from the two children. Right away, 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 right away. Said I'm on a train from LA,
So I think it was in 1988, Wrigley Field in Chicago got their lights for the first time. And a couple years after that, our local little ball diamond here got its lights too. So we could start playing baseball at night. Before that, you had to play up until the sun went down, but now we got lights out here at the baseball field, and there used to be a switch out there in center field, and so we used to go there and turn the lights on. And to get all these houses would get real bright and wake people up, and people wouldn't be too happy about that. We used to call it turning the lights on at Wrigley. Wasn't long before the cops got onto us though, and they put a lock on the box out there in center field, so we couldn't keep turning the lights on at Wrigley anymore. But just another fun teenage prank we used to do all the time. Hey, we're here at beautiful Wrigley Field, Chicago, the greatest ballpark in the world. It's a beautiful, sunny, warm day. We're here at Wrigley checking out my brick, the Chicago Farmer brick. Right here, after a long search, we finally found it. Thanks to Carly and Dan for purchasing it. And we're forever part of Wrigley Field. Go Cubs! Hey, I'm here at the Ivy Lab recording studio in Chicago, Illinois. My favorite recording studio in the whole world, and it's become my home away from home lately. So come on, I'll show you around. So yeah, this is the Ivy Lab Hotel. This is where I sleep. This is where I write my songs. This is where I get stressed out about recording. And this is where I lay awake all night, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do next. This is the old vault right here, where all the magic happens. Used to be an old commodities hotel vault back in the day in the 1900s. Al Capone used to record his albums down here, and Jimmy Hoffa is down here too. And let's go see him.
Well, I came to the hard city 'cause the country was soft. From a dirty basement to a dirty loft, I've been searching for things that I might never find. And every time I sing, I got you on my mind. More people, more places, more things to do, more ways for me to keep my mind off you. Here up, here up, here. Oh, and I gave $1 so many bums that it wasn't much longer till I myself was one. I've been playing for tips underneath this blue line train. I've been thinking of your lips as I'm standing in the rain. More people, more places, there's more things to do, more ways for me to my mind off you. Here up, here up, here. Coldest of nights, saying you can light a million candles, kid, with just one candle's light. Yeah, harmonize with screaming tires, sound just like my voice. And I'm feeling more inspired now to make some more noise. There's more people, more places, more things to do, more ways for me to keep my mind off of you. Here up, here up, here. There's more people, more places, more things to do, more ways for me to keep my mind off you. Here up, here up, here. So yeah, I used to play in this band when I was about 19. We used to start to gig, and we lived in this town over here called Armington, Illinois. And it was me and all these older guys, and the guitar player in the band was coming home on the same road that he'd come home from like a million times, and he slipped off the road up here and passed away. And that was a pretty big deal in my life. It had a lot of impact on me because he was a guitar player in our band, and one day he was there and just the next day he wasn't. So I was 19, and I think I had lost, grandparents at that time, but I never lost a friend. So it kind of had a big impact on me because these guys were just hard-working guys. They all worked 50, 60 hours a week. And then they'd come home and practice and just play music at night just for fun, just because they love to play music, This is the town of Armington, Illinois. If you blink, you might miss it. So yeah, that had a pretty big impact on me. I've never had a friend pass away, and I was 19 years old, and I don't know, things just kind of changed for me at that point in my life. I started realizing that life's pretty short, and if you want to do something, you better just do it. So maybe it made me grow up pretty fast playing in bars with those guys, and seeing them support their families, and seeing them do what's important to them, and kind of made me step back and think about what's important to me and my family and things like that, and things you take for granted. Some people think, why would anybody want to live in a small town like this? And I guess when I was living here, I kind of wondered that too, but now I know that I'm back, that this is home. Wherever somebody is, it's their home, So these are just really good working people. They love their families, they take care of each other, they work hard. And so I'm kind of proud to be from a small town. Well, I went to the watch doctor to get my time fixed. Thing was happening too fast. Everything came too quick. Diamond rings on the fingers of my friends. I'm here singing. It's time to wind me up again. So pass a quarter, and I might sing one that you like. Here's my shoulder, crying another 9:15. So I went to my friend Joe, the mechanic, to get my time and checks. I don't know, lately, Joe, I've just been such a wreck. It seems like yesterday. It's kinda like riding a bike. You can't remember how to forget another 9:15. So I went to see the boys down on North Evans Street, to the other side, where the grass is a little more green. If I don't pass, no, if I partake in this delight, just might make it through another 9:15. I went back to the watch doctor, and then I said, I just don't know. I think you went a little too far. Now I'm moving really slow. Emotions, where they're out catching up with me. They're on my trail, on my back, on my neck. I feel them breathe, the breath of death, or maybe the breath of life. I'm killing time. I killed another 9:15. Well, it was a Friday night and I was feeling alright, getting off work and tucking my shirt and heading out to the parking lot. It's just a jump, a skip, and a hop over the corner of Locust and Oak Street. Carl's ice cream shop. There's a beautiful girl working over there behind the counter. I go there sometimes on Fridays and I order up my usual. She says, you want your usual? I said, yes, I do. She said, damn, boy, you sure like ice cream. I said, no, I just come down here so I can get a good look at you. And I order me up a queen size swirly cone and I lick it up and down and I head on home. Get ready for a night on the town. 'Cause I'm hanging out with my best friend and his girlfriend, my other best friend and his girlfriend. We're riding on 5 wheels tonight, and I'm the 5th, as usual. And the 5th Amendment, I never do plea. And speaking of fists, why don't we pull over and get us a can of 7 and a case of raspberry Stoli, and we go on down to the brewery. I walk in there and see some old flames. Eyes are burning, wheels are turning, but I cannot remember their names. And I walk out of the Peoria Theater with 17 phone numbers in my hand, all from big burly guys. Want to know if I'm ready to start a band? I said, I've been down that road, I've been on that trip, and I just ain't ready for that kind of relationship, so we head on home. Well, my best friend and his girlfriend pass out. My other best friend and his girlfriend pass out, and they leave me there all alone on a dirty ass old couch. And I'm about ready to pass out, y'all, but I open up my left eye, and what do I see? But this beautiful, sexy ass guitar staring right at me. And I walk up to this old guitar and I say, hey baby, I said, I think me and you can make some beautiful music together. She says, you ain't nothing but a player. I said, bullshit, honey, I can sing too. And I hold her real close like, and we sing and we dance and we make love all night long. And Saturday morning I woke up about as hungover as could be. But at least I had this song. I went to the watch doctor to get my time and fix. Thing was happening too fast. Everything came too quick. Diamond rings on the fingers of my friends. I'm here singing. It's time to wind me up again. So pass a quarter, and I might sing one that you like. Here's my shoulder, crying another 2:15. Just another 2:15. Just another 2:15. Yeah, I went to the watch doctor to get my timing fixed.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw you. I'd heard about you from a guy from work, and checked out your website, liked the music, liked the songs and stuff, and decided that the next time you came to Chicago, if I could work it into my schedule, I would go, you know. And I went, and I think it was on some holiday. It was like Fat Tuesday or something. And you were just filling in for somebody. It was kind of a fairly last-minute gig, and the bar was dead, but
Yeah. I'll have that.
there were maybe, I don't know, a handful of people that were, you know, really paying attention. You played the hell out of the show, though, and I was really impressed, because I was like, you know, if he's putting forth this much effort for, you know, 5 people, then, you know, that's something to say about the integrity. And
Some of my best shows have been with 5 or 10 people. And, you know, I've even played shows for 10 people I didn't know, but by the time I got done, we were all friends. They knew some of my songs. I was friends with them, and, you know, it ended up being just a good night of music. So those nights happen from time to time.
yeah.
Even when you start getting established, you'll still have those nights that are pretty slow, and it might bum you out a little bit at first, but really you gotta just keep playing, because you want to give those 5 people the best night they ever have. So,
Right.
you know.
I mean, the next time I saw you, it was a packed room. Couldn't squeeze another person in there. I mean,
It was probably a really lame show.
no, it was pretty good. It was pretty memorable as well.
Well, for me, you know, it's kind of like if I could play in front of 1,000 people, I think it would be awesome.
Right.
I've come not quite close to that, but you know, quite a few hundred. But for me, it's intimacy. It's all about what I do. I tell a lot of stories. My songs are all about the lyrics, so if you're sitting 200 yards away, you're probably not going to feel a part of it like the 30 people in the front row. And
Right.
you know, eventually I'd like to play to larger rooms, but for now it's just, if I can get a room full of 75 people, 100 people, and we can have a good time, and I can get my points across and express myself in my songs, and, you know, I could be happy the rest of my life just doing shows like that.
I've been trying to pour my heart out, then I leave it on the stage. You come tear my heart out, then you put it in a cage. Anymore it doesn't matter if you put it on display. 'Cause my heart is always shattered, every love and only scattered. I know how to do is play. So it's alright if you love me, it's alright if you don't. I just wish that you'd tell me, I got a feeling that you won't. There's a dirty wind blowing, it's been getting in my eyes. All the pain I've ever known, well, I've got it memorized. I've done my fair share of drinking, top and bottom of your shelf. I've been on this bar stool when I played it really cool. I made a damn fool of myself. So it's alright if you love me, it's alright if you don't. I just wish that you'd tell bigger car. Maybe I need a smaller dream. I just want to write a song, have someone to ride along. All together we can scream. It's alright if you love me. It's alright if you don't. I just wish that you'd tell me I got a feeling that you won't. Alright folks, how you feeling tonight? Thank you very much for coming out to the show. I really appreciate it. Hope you're having a good old time. There's no need to clap right now. I can't even keep time. It's going to mess me up. But with feeling people, I like to hear you sing because you're the most beautiful audience I've had all night. It's alright if you love me. It's alright if you don't. I just wish that you'd tell me I got a feeling that you won't. Alright, you know how we do it. We're going to break it up now. Alright, we're in 3 sections, so that's how we're going to do it. This section, that section, section up top. Y'all ready? Y'all ready way up there in the balcony? Cool, I don't think we have cameras back there, so I'd like to take this minute to thank all 7,000 of you for showing up tonight. Here we go, this group over here first, ready? It's alright if you love me. It's alright if you don't. It's alright if you love me. One more time. It's alright if you love me. Everybody, it's alright if you love me. It's alright if you don't. I just wish that you'd tell me I got a feeling that you won't. Thank you very much. We're gonna take a short break. Y'all come on back. You hear? Thank you very much.
Where you're at right now with your career, I mean, comparing that to somebody who has like a major label and gets a lot of promotion and everything, but they also have to make some sacrifices. I mean, how do you weigh that? Are you at the point where you would make some sacrifices to get the bigger promotion, or are you more like standing firm and thinking that you would rather hold your ground and do what you want to do, and if you don't make it big, then so be it. You're happy with where you are.
You know, I think what I do is, I don't think it would work in front of 5,000 people. Maybe it would, but I don't think it does. My comfort zone is like playing in front of a crowd that appreciates what I do and can really be a part of it. And I think a crowd that's in the 5 to 10,000s, you need like a pretty full-fledged rock band to make everybody in the band, in the crowd, happy. And I like to just keep it intimate, thank you. And I like to, I like to make everybody in the crowd feel like they're a part of it. So obviously I want my music to be in more people's ears. I want it to spread like wildfire. I want everybody to hear Chicago Farmer, know who I am, know what I'm singing about. And I think I have a large market out there, but I don't think it would work if I was a huge artist. Maybe it would, but I don't think it would. I'm pretty happy with playing in front of 100 people and making those 100 people leave saying that was pretty cool, that was different, that meant something to me, I got something out of that. If I can achieve that, then I could just do this for the rest of my life and be happy.
All I really want is to love and be loved. The World Series won by the Chicago Cubs. Play my guitar under the stars so bright. Just one chance to kiss you goodnight. All I really want is to love and be loved. World Series won by the Chicago Cubs. Lay my guitar under these stars so bright. One more chance to kiss you goodnight. The last one out, turn off the lights. The last one out, turn off the lights. The last one out, turn off the lights. Thank you. Well, the train came around. I stepped my boots down when I got to town. But I saw no one. The jobs and people gone. So were the songs. Let's go down to river, going down to river. Let's go down to river. Let's go down to river, going down. And we're out from the days we were born. Come down here with broken hearts and our emotions torn. Off of the beaten path to our old stomping ground. As long as we've been growing up, we've been coming down to the river. Let's go down to the river. Let's go down to the river, going down to the river. Let's go down to the river. Let's go down to the river, going down. Mackinac, yeah, we will have some fun. Get your daddy's old guitar and get your daddy's gun. Big brother up by the beer, we'll shed a couple rounds. Stack up up all the emptiness, and then when I come down to the river, let's go down to the river, let's go down to the river, going down to the river, let's go down to the river, let's go down to the river, going down on our love, and up comes the cost of everything we do and done, and all that we have lost. Empty out our pockets, oh, just to get around. The rich, they keep on rising while the poor keep falling down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, going down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, going down. Go the faces of another dad and mom. Down goes another soldier to a roadside bomb. I read it in the paper and on the faces of our town. Tomorrow we go to Pekin, Illinois to lay him down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, going down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, going down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, going down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, let's go down. To the river, going down.
All right. Wasn't bad. Probably should do it again.
That's what you say after every take.
Yeah. Take 58.